when they come up with TV show names, are they trying? Is part of it like, well, we want it to sound like other shows because that's part of the appeal of TV. If it sounds too much like a bus, people won't know they should watch it. So let's call it TV show, but we'll just technically change the title so that you can find it.
I think especially for procedurals and stuff, that's absolutely a huge. There's always NYP, or I don't know. It's like then there was Chicago and Chicago Fire, and it's like they're trying to just cash on the. It's just these words that are like things you like, right? Television.
It makes sense. In an ideal culture, you could call it anything. You could call it Gadzookamooka, a crime procedural,
right?
And then people would go, "Oh, well, Gadzookamooka. At least I can remember that." Hey, who's forgetting it? Whatever. If you're into that,
what's the elevator pitch for Gadzookamooka?
It's just 7 experts from different fields forced to work on a task force in downtown Cincinnati due to the recent string of abductions. And then at the end of the season, if you watch it, then at the end of it, they're like, well, I guess that's it. They got all the boxes packed up, and the sets are, the bulletin boards are emptied. And then the guy comes out from the office and goes like, "Not so fast, jackasses! A homeless guy just got eaten by a Loch Ness monster in Scotland."
Loch Ness monster. And then that second question: how many
We're going to Scotland.
Cincinnati's being overrun by Loch Ness monsters.
Yeah, I wonder what it would take to write a procedural. I guess a healthy dose of watching procedurals.
Yeah,
that seems like everybody.
Yeah, and I think you have to have someone like a consulting producer that used to work on one of those things that knows all the.
Let's test that. Let's see if we could just improvise a procedural, just as a radio play. We don't have to act it out.
Okay.
I'm
not as familiar with them as you are, so I don't really watch them, but I'll do my best.
I think you could take my lead.
Yeah.
I'm like Marty McFly saying to the band, "Watch me for the changes, try to keep up." All right. So, the cold open, I think we could put a pin in, but let's just say it's like a paper plate factory, and guy's finishing making paper plates, and he goes like, "I'm all done here." And his off-screen voice says,
"Are you?" There's more in here, though. In here where it's dark and not surveilled.
And then he walks into the back room,
and you don't even hear what happens.
but I got to admit, I didn't expect this guy to be the victim, but okay. But if we don't see what happened, all right. Well, do we hear a sound like a silencer?
No, it goes to silent, like it kind of just sounds fades out.
Then we cut to a woman in bed, and she's looking. It's like she's nervously sleeping, and reaches over, and there's nobody there, and she sees the clock, and it's 2:30 a.m., and she picks up her phone and starts calling somebody.
But a cold open, we're gonna need to punch this thing. We want to blow to our cold open, and it can't be a guy walking in the darkness, and it can't be a lady checking her phone.
She's like, where
No, now he's disappeared. Now where is he? That's the assumption we're making, right? So now he's disappeared at the paper plate factory. He was supposed to be home hours ago.
So then cut to her, because it's a cold open. We got to keep it short.
So now doesn't the story change into her finding her guy who disappeared?
So cut to her pulling up,
right.
Let's just
now
save
she's going
money,
to the paper plate,
and she cut to her at the same set where he was.
Yeah.
She's wearing a fur coat or whatever she threw on.
A fur coat. Because
that's the paper plate money.
The rich wife of a paper plate factory worker.
Well, I think that's a clue.
There you go.
It's a gift.
Okay.
I don't want to blow the whole plot, but I think that's going to be a thing.
Right.
And so she walks into that back room that Spencer described, and then she turns on a light, and the camera kind of Ghostbusters on her, and she goes, "Ah!" Okay,
right.
So then you can go to your title sequence.
Okay. CSI.
And it's like crime, conspiracies,
science.
international. No, that's wrong. That's not a good title.
It's Gadzookamooka.
Gadzookamooka. Sorry. Gadzookamooka.
Which is the name of the plate company.
Oh.
It's a series centered around the intrigue of the plate company.
All right.
It's like The Wire.
Plates.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Gadzookamooka plates.
You know what? And the billboards for the show say, you know what? Now serving murder. As murder serves 3.
Yeah, come back for seconds. Degrees murders.
The plates are disposable, but the crimes last forever. Kind of thing. Like,
heartache is forever.
I don't want to keep developing this show. Only not because
publicly.
I don't believe in it, because I'm starting to get greedy. I
want
to pitch
people
it.
To know about this.
I have a first look with FX. I don't want to waste this.
Gadzookamooka plates. I mean, I think this is probably like a 6-episode Netflixy kind of thing, right? And then you
like Spotlight.
It's a miniseries.
Which was a 6-episode.
Well, shit. If it's on Netflix, well, let's not develop it. Let's just make it a 10-hour story, chop it into 6 parts, and go home.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Shots fired.
Axe
Netflix. Shots fired. Most successful TV venue. I warmed up to Mindhunter, but it could use more paper plates.
There are mine hunters in Criminal Minds, I think.
Yeah.
I think most of the show is a bunch of mine hunters.